The last time I played Battle Guys on this channel was over 4 months ago, and I wanted to talk about it again since we are getting close to a significant milestone in the game's history. 1 year without the classic game that many of the OG fans remember. I remember making videos showcasing the game's early chapter and the high expectations, which initially grew my community on this platform. Most of the clan wars and gameplay compilations I made were done on the initial version of the game, which felt more like a budget-friendly and build-free Fortnite that worked with any Android smartphone or computer with an emulator installed. Everything went well with the game, or at least that's how it was in our eyes, because almost 1 year ago, we lost the original game forever. Kitka Games released the 0.39 update, which turned the game from the casual-friendly Fortnite into a 3D copy of Brawl Stars. The intent was to improve the player retention, but a year later, we've gone through 3 more redesigns of the game, with the last one coming in October of 2025. And in all of those redesigns, they argued the same goal: try to get more players to play beyond the first few matches. When they released that top-down redesign, we were told that this version would either make or break the game. If it didn't work out, Kitka Games would call it quits on the project and move on with their lives. Keep in mind, that was October. Now, we are in early March of the new year, and the last piece of news was made on the 4th of December 2025, in which Community Manager Banskew said, "Hello everyone, it's been a while since our last update. We don't have new info to share yet, but we're working internally to decide the best direction for Battle Guys. Most likely, there won't be a game update for the next couple of months. We'll let you know any news as soon as possible." Now granted, this is better than just saying we're working on bug fixes over and over again, but it still has left tons of worry among the community that still plays this game. While parts of the community continue to grieve the original game we lost a year ago, the current generation of players who still have faith are losing their patience with the silence from Kitka Games regarding the state of the game. Looking back at the announcement, it may appear at first glance that the team behind the game is simply waiting for something to happen that decides whether or not they are willing to continue development on the project, like the company is paying them to do absolutely nothing for weeks while they wait for news. However, there could be a lot going on behind the scenes of the company, which is why Battle Guys hasn't received the attention it needs as of lately. Anything could be happening at their headquarters. Maybe they're working on a huge update to surprise us. Or there's little to no chance of it being an entire redesign. Maybe it's just a quality of life patch to make the game smoother. Maybe they could be working on a brand new project already, and they're waiting to announce it alongside Battle Guys' future. Or maybe, they could be filing for bankruptcy soon, as Battle Guys is Kitka Games' only creation at the moment, having sold their biggest one, Stumble Guys, a couple of years ago. I doubt that this would happen, but we live in a world where the market is brutal, and companies often need hundreds of people to make and maintain quality games for people to play. There's plenty of possibilities for what's happening behind the scenes, but what is the actual correct answer? Nobody knows. But what we do know is that the community is not happy with the silence. We know that there are many more factors to consider this time around, which is why the top-down redesign has already outlived the Portland redesign, and is getting close to outlasting the grass, sand, and snowlands redesign. So it seems like this version, at first observation, is doing better than the other redesigns, but before the announcement last year, where they announced that they were changing the entire game due to such a poor retention rate, we thought the game was doing well too. So now, there's no guarantee that the game will even get that next update at all, as per the announcement. Now, what do I think is going on with the game? Well, I did suggest that they might be working on something behind the scenes, and they can't disclose it quite yet. This would be more believable than what some people believe, which is that they're just waiting on news and being paid to do nothing for weeks. However, I do have to agree with the rest of the community in that we have been waiting much too long for something to come out of them, and as the silence extends, the situation regarding their player base retention is going to get worse. And also, the only social media posts are just a weekly kill leaderboard and monthly cup resets every season. Nothing to do with the game's future. You see, Battle Guys was made with one goal: fun. It was intended as a quick, pick it up and play it during your break app, with the game being specialized to the casual gamer. That's why there's only one map, the same recycled battle pass every month, and no further gameplay modes besides the standard solo and duo mode lobbies, which just place you in lobbies with random players and zero skill-based matchmaking involved. To the company, if the players keep on quitting the game after beating the tutorial, they believe there is no incentive to work on anything beyond that checkpoint. There is no incentive for tournaments, or friends lists, or custom lobbies where you can change up the rules. Nothing beyond that tutorial stage and the first couple of matches is in their focus. Despite their best efforts, it is pretty easy for a competitive player, or at least an experienced player, to get bored of the game since the structure of the game does not allow for proper tournaments to be held. These CWN events by Xmurfs don't count, by the way. I'm talking about actual tournaments where there is a bracket, many players competing for podium spots, and where there is control and order, something that is very important in making tournaments fair for everyone. Even with a few tournaments and some community engagement, the silence from Kitka Games has also resulted in the silence of many content creators in the game, including yours truly. All of us in the program seem to have learned a lesson from these redesigns, and I've stated it many times before. The current community can't do much about the state of the game. Only the new players control the fate, as the company believes that if they can't maintain the new players, then they can't maintain anyone. And as they have been repeating that for 2 years now, it makes sense why old players are leaving the game and spending their time somewhere else. They have done everything there is to do with the game, and the company is doing nothing to retain them. Even attempting to do something to try to retain veterans is difficult, as none of us know what may happen tomorrow. Maybe the announcement finally comes, and Kiki Games decides to close Battle Guys for good, rendering all preparation for such events worthless. Don't forget, a pack of 5,000 gems costs $20 US in the store, and although us content creators have the privilege to gift those 5,000 gems to our viewers, we don't want that currency to feel like a waste in the end, because if the game shuts down, there's no way you can spend the money you just won. It's like you won the lottery and died the next day. Others remember your win, but your prize pretty much just fades into nothingness. Either way, we're tired of the same battle pass over and over. We're tired of the same map, and especially tired of pretty much being restricted to playing this game the way Kika intended. We don't want to accidentally get caught in the net where we are trying to play it our way, so therefore, unless you have 18 other friends and connect them to make a full 20-player lobby with yourself and your opponent, just to do a 1v1, there isn't really a way to do stuff like that, and to not have any interruptions, without teaming and killing everybody else before killing your opponents, something that raises a red flag to a casual player who might not be aware of the context. This leaves the only real form of player retention beyond the first few matches to be the trophy and crowns leaderboard, as well as the competition for the top tag every week. But it's almost always the same players ranking high on the leaderboards, as their patience for the game is greater than the average attention span of a goldfish. The casual player who isn't a professional gamer might find this competition too fierce after a couple of days, and then they end up giving up and waiting for the next season. But then, multiple seasons pass, and they start to get duplicates extremely often in the boxes, leading them to save up all their coins. Then, they forget to boot up the game one day, see that nothing has changed, and then slowly, they stop playing, because they realize there's no incentive once you're done with your collection. And then their friends get bored too, and they quit the game. And that basically sums up the Battle Guy cycle. You install, get obsessed with the game, then get tired of it, and you stop playing because you're bored of it. And unfortunately, the longer Kiki Games stay silent about the game, the more people will get stuck at this state of the cycle, being bored of it. A game made in the mid-2020s needs to have a lot to keep the player engaged at all stages. This isn't 2013 anymore, where a simple bird game that one could make in a few hours nowadays could be so addicting that the owner took down the app due to intense stress on himself, and phones with the game still installed would go for extreme prices on eBay. This is 13 years later, and games on the App Store have evolved significantly, whereas Kiki Games has stuck with silence and uncertainty about the future, as opposed to optimism and pride in their work and getting the players hyped up for the future. No behind the scenes previews either. Nothing to keep us wondering what's going to happen. Just, here, play this game. We don't have news yet about what we'll do. We'll just keep it up for now and hope for the best. That, in my opinion, is textbook definition of how to lose your core community quickly. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand why they did all those redesigns. However, I don't think it's fair to focus exclusively on new player retention, and then for the several players that you actually get to stay in the game, do nothing meaningful to keep them. It's like buying cellular service for an incredible price, and then after you've been subscribed for a while, you stop getting member perks completely and have to pay more for your carrier bill every month. That kind of operating causes people to be upset, so they switch their carrier to another one and search for more optimistic benefits. It's the same deal with Battle Guys. They want people to stay, but once they stay, what exactly gives, you know? Playing as frequently as possible won't even help anymore. All we can do is see what happens within the next couple of months and hope it's good news. Regardless of what happens, I'll still be around for when Battle Guys have something in store for us, if they ever do. It's just that right now, we are seeing the game's uncertainty turn into frustration in real time. And if the game actually does happen to shut down, I highly doubt it is because, oh, it sucked. That's what the developers would want you to think. People loved this game. They thought it was nice to play on their phones. But what the community has declared mismanagement and poor decision making has drifted the new players, and especially the returning players, away in search of a better game to play. And even if there is good news to come out of this game soon, another big question is, how is Kiki Games going to earn back the players that have left already? Again, I'm not saying the game will shut down or that we should all lose faith. What I am saying is, you can't just stop giving food to a whole community and expect the population to grow. People are going to pack their bags and leave to find such a necessity to survive. I still hope that the game has something to look forward to, but at the end of the day, we can only speculate. Anyways, what do you think is going on at KKHQ? Do you think they're playing a major update? Do you still think they're slacking off and being paid to do so? Do you think the company, let alone the game, can survive past next March, which is less than a year away from now? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, or use the ask button if you need a question answered with a timestamp. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe, join my Discord server for post notifications and chat with my wonderful fans, and I'll see you all in the next one.